Okay then, Raiders, we are back. We've got loads to go over today. Shrouded Sky has now officially been announced to be launching later on next week. A very intriguing one indeed, just as the game seems to be going through probably the most difficult time I think I've seen it in, and the lowest numbers of players, as it still continues to dip down. It's a sad time indeed, as we are now losing the player base at a rapid pace and down to some really weird decisions, which we've actually got to showcase to you guys today, as we've got some inputs from Virgil Watkins, the Arc Raiders design director. We're going to see what it is that's happening right now. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. We've got new bundles releasing all the time, and a special offer that you guys can see on screen. This is a big discount, so make sure you're using code CloudPlays at checkout via the link in the description for a cheeky discount. On top of that, we're also giving away a copy of the game. If you've already got it, then we're giving away Raider tokens. Very simply, head down to the comment section and put in any coloured love heart and it'll enter you in. We're due to announce that one very soon, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now side of Arc Raiders. So starting off, we had the confirmation a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen already, Shrouded Sky is due to launch on the 24th of February. Now this is an interesting one because the video itself actually doesn't really showcase all that much, but showcases enough that people are really confused. These weird little cockerel dials on the top of roofs generally showcase on Buried City, and that is probably the key focus point of it, is another map condition for Buried City, but yet the background of it shows a load of trees, which would imply that it would be somewhere else, such as like maybe Dam Battleground. It's really odd to me. I don't know where it's actually going to layer out, and the internet is now speculating hard on where they think it is. So let me know in the comment section, where do you think that this map condition is going to reside? Moving on from that, though, we've also got to talk about a lot, as the game is currently going under some more server instabilities. This is coming from community manager Solomon. States, as of Wednesday, February 18th, which was yesterday, we've received reports of server instability. Our team are looking into the issue and we'll keep you updated. Servers are now stabilizing, but we are recommending that you're checking your connections before matchmaking. Thank you all for your patience. Now, this has been a problem now for quite some time, actually. These server instabilities do seem to be happening on a regular basis. As to why that is actually a thing, I have no idea. But we are seeing rubber banding and so much more happening all of the time inside of this game that so many people are just getting a little frustrated by it. So much so that we are probably at the lowest numbers that we have seen in terms of Arc Raiders since launch. As you can see right here, we are currently at around 207,000 in the last 24-hour peak. Now, a lot of you guys may be saying, well, that's extremely dramatic. That's still 207,000 people. But since the game officially launched last year, this is the lowest number that we have seen. Now, don't get me twisted. We're still talking hundreds of thousands of people on Steam, still nearly 1 million people a day overall the entire platform. I do think, obviously, it's going to start taking its negative pointing. I don't know if Marathon's going to affect it at all, but sometimes these things go wrong, sometimes negativities happen, and sometimes players move on to different games. I mean, I don't know about you, but Crimson Desert, it's screaming my name, my friend. It's screaming my name. And when you've got content creators that are getting extremely frustrated, you kind of obviously have the fan base that follow along with it. One of which is a YouTuber called French Cops, and this guy is pretty much renowned for being the trials go-to guy. He is the Cantina leaderboard legend, and he has guides on absolutely every single trials on how to complete every single thing at a high degree, getting hundreds of thousands of points. He put in a message into the Discord just this morning stating, "For once, I won't try to be overly friendly. Leaving the Cantina Legend leaderboard unresolved for nearly the entire season, almost 2 months, is simply not normal. Having one of the major trials completely bugged during the ultimate final week is frankly ridiculous. Players have been investing time, effort, and consistency for 2 months straight, and because of these issues, outcomes now feel heavily dictated on pure RNG rather than performance. This is not a minor inconvenience. They are major structural problems comparable to impact to something like an economic dupe. I'm concerned, really, not even mentioned that we are competing with the #1 world player at level 1 account using Aimbotter and ESP. I would be already 350 to 400,000 in points this week if these ticks wasn't bugged. Now, Solomon actually responded to this and said, thanks, these concerns have been escalated to the dev team and are actively being looked into. We continue to follow up the common issues so that it may be addressed on the game announcement when the team is ready to explore and clarify them. Now, the only issue with that is that it has obviously been months, and it is quite a big factor with Trials being one of the biggest key ideas inside of the game, as it's got its own leaderboard and they still can't seem to fix things. This is really bad when you start looking at it from that level. In Cantina, it's the top 1,000 players. People are getting peed off even in there. It's really, really weird. Not only that, but even then, the player base are not seeming to be in a expected level of kindness. As we can see right here in a gamer article, it states that the Arc Raider Queens don't have enough loot for everyone because devs didn't expect so much cooperation. As we can see right here, in a conversation with PC Gamer, Arc Raiders design director Virgil Watkins said that Embark never anticipated these entire lobbies would achieve this level of cooperation. They expected a bit more chaos and PvP gameplay, resulting in a lot fewer players coming out at the end of the Queen and Matriarch fight. That's why the loot isn't enough for everybody. Now, obviously, on top of that, they also have the idea that the entire lobby is not running off of a straight player v player lobby or a straight PvE lobby where everyone's kind. That's not how this game works, apparently. There's no such thing as a dedicated PvE or PvP lobbying. So even though the aggressive matchmaking is in play, it doesn't seem to work that way so that you can genuinely have a lobby which is nice for everyone. It's really, really wild to me that we've gone from aggression matchmaking where we think that that's actually viable to it not actually being viable to it's really confusing me, dude, but I don't know what's going on with the game right now, as now we are also experiencing the aftermath of the exploit usage as well, and players are kicking off about that, as people such as Peanut and other players in the streaming community managed to receive this message right here, while other people were absolutely ban-hammered with so much stuff. It's insane. This states right here, the detects exploit where the removal of player coins and warns of possible account suspensions. It states, Raider, we have confirmed exploit on your account. Since use of exploit violates our terms of service and end-user license agreement, we have taken measures by removing a portion of your coins. Continuing use of exploits could lead to account suspension. Taking advantage of exploits has a real impact on the game's economy and the way the community experiences Arc Raiders. It is our goal to fix the issues as soon as possible to restore balance. Please report them to the dedicated channels. Read more on arcraiders.com/news. Now, obviously, we knew full well that they were due to be fixing it, and we knew full well that they were going to implement these problems and implement these issues. Now, the problem that people are having right now is that the streamers genuinely were not affected, and the game is still in a broken state. It's just ridiculous, actually, how it is that they've gone about it, but yeah, it's insane. When we take a look at your top comments from the previous video, though, a lot of you guys have had a lot to be saying about this. And one thing that you guys mentioned was about Peanut, and it turned out that even then, no, he wasn't. So let's take a look at what was said. We had to go over the update on exploits and a huge ban wave that was inevitably going to be due to come through. This first one right here coming from Mosinag states, expect players to do it. While a normal person understands the basic life rule, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Just because a lot of people have undiagnosed brain rot doesn't normalize the associated behavior. Now, as much as I do completely agree with that, like, that's not how it works in life. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it. It's also a computer game, and it's not really anything like too deep in that regard. It just obviously is in the gaming scene. It's frowned upon massively, hence why majority of us don't do it. But if you're going to make it available, there are going to be a selective amount of people who can and will. That's the truth. Correct? Anyhow, moving on from that, this next one states right here from DigiDieBoom, 337, Peanut must be sweating. Now, to give you guys a bit of clarification on that, at 337, we spoke about the ban waves and how they are going to be apparently reacting to streamers, of which I don't actually think that they did. Maybe they removed some coins, but I don't think they did anything more than that. So, yeah, they weren't affected at all. The Peanut did not sweat. He did not. And finally, this one right here from Telsey states, you are my go-to for Arc Raiders updates. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that very much, man. We are trying really, really hard to make sure we keep you up to date with everything Arc Raiders. All of the updates, all of the patches. As soon as they drop, we bring them straight to your faces. And I try really, really hard to make sure that we can bring you guys absolutely everything possible so that you've got all the information you need before going topside with everything here right now. So, make sure you stay tuned, because next week on the 24th is going to be a ginormous day for upgraders with some really big content loop and styles, and I'm going to showcase everything to you guys here as it drops. If you haven't already, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribe and post notifications turned on. I appreciate you all, man. Thank you so much again for sticking around. I appreciate it. And as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.